Ever wondered what is the secret behind a native English speaker confident and fluent speaking that you can never follow? Never ever. That is some phrases that they use in their daily life conversation to make them sound confident, fluent, and wow, just wow. Right? So that's why they're known as natives and you are known as beginners. But I can teach you what beginners don't know mostly these phrases that they should use in their daily life to make them sound confident, fluent, and really simple for the first person to understand. So let's start. These are some phrases used by the native English speakers every day that make you sound fluent. And yes, हम बहुत माफ कीजिएगा हमने बहुत टाइम के बाद वीडियोस डाली है बट वी आर सो सॉरी वी वर वर्किंग ऑन समथिंग so from now on there will be regular posting, so don't worry and stay till the end and share with the people who want to also learn these phrases. Let's start without any further ado. Native English phrases used by native speakers. Let's start. First is greetings and small talks. Chote talks या greetings क्या बोलेंगे? Small talks and greetings. When this happens, what do a native starts with first? You, like I'm telling in my mother language, आप जाके बोलते होगे, hey भाई कैसा चल रहा है? तुम्हें बहुत टाइम से देखा नहीं, कहाँ थे, क्या कर रहे थे? ये सब बोलते होंगे आप लोग. What does a native English person say in their own language, in English? They say, how's it going, man? How's it going? Yo, how's it going? You must have heard that phrase. Yo, man, what's up? How's it going? These are the two phrases that they use. What does it mean? How's it going means casual of how are you. Now, casually, you're gonna say, how are you? And like this, informally, you're gonna say, yo, man, how's it going? It is used with friends and colleagues. Used with friends or colleagues who are really close to you, only these two people. It's kind of informal. How's it going? Then is what's up? This is also an informal greeting that can use with your friends, colleagues, or somebody you know in a really short span of time. So yeah, very informal greeting means what's happening. This means how are you, and this means what's happening. What's up or how's it going? You can use this in your sentences whenever you are trying to speak to any native English speaker, and they will think, oh my god, you're not a beginner. They won't even know you're a beginner because you will start speaking like this, and they'll like, yeah, he's my level. So yes, these are two you can start. Then, if you want to ask something like this, long time no see, said when you haven't seen someone in a while. Yeah, you say this. How's it going? Long time no see. You must have heard this, right? So you should also use these in your sentences. You're awake, right? You're awake, right? Yeah, stay awake, okay? Long time no see. Said when you haven't seen someone in a while. You haven't seen someone in a while. Maybe 2 years, maybe 3 months, maybe 2 weeks, or maybe just 2 days. Okay, but long time no see is usually for a long span of time. Oh, how's it going? Or what's up? Long time no see. Then is how have you been? How have you been is usually used for asking about someone's life since you last met. How have you been? Last time I met you, you were married. Now, what's the next story? How have you been? Long time no see, and how have you been? To start a conversation lightly and perfectly, and you will sound like a fluent English speaker, like me. I teach British accents. Okay, come on, let's start. Now this is for greetings and small talks. Now let's move further with next. Next one is agreeing and reacting. Now how would you react if your friend said, my grandma died last week? What would you say? Totally, absolutely. Tell me about it. Fair enough. No, of course not. You're not never gonna say that. That is totally wrong. How are you gonna react? My grandma died last night. How are you gonna react? Tell me in the comments because I would react sad only. And what words will you use to comfort the person if their grandma died? Yeah. So yeah, agreeing and reacting. So these are some words. Let's learn about them. Totally. Totally. A strong agreement of I completely agree. Totally, you are right, you are correct. Like the first person said that about a strong agreement, I completely agree. Then is absolutely. Empathetic, yes, slightly more formal than totally. Totally means a strong agreement that yes, I completely agree. But absolutely means an empathetic yes. Yeah, absolutely. You are correct. Slightly more formal. This one is slightly informal and this one is slightly formal for a totally. Absolutely. Okay. Then is tell me about it. You strongly relate. I know exactly what you mean. You strong relate to, I know exactly what you mean. Tell me about it. Tell me what happened next. Tell me about it. This is known as tell me about it. This is also a phrase you can use when talking to somebody. That will make you sound more confident and fluent. Next is fair enough. What is fair enough? Accepting a point even if you are partly disagree. Fair enough. Yeah, it is correct. I don't even agree, and I even agree. I don't even agree with you, but I even agree with you. Yeah, it's fair enough. It's okay. So there are four phrases you can use when you are agreeing or reacting when you're talking to somebody. Totally. Absolutely. Tell me about it. Or fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. This first was for greetings, and this is for agreeing and reacting. Next is expressing surprise. A sudden surprise. When you express it, expressing surprise. These are the phrases you can use for them. First is no way, no way, no way, no way you're telling me this. No way you said you can say that the car crashed. No way you're telling me the car crashed. In disbelief, that's impossible. Really? Or you can say that he married his best friend. Oh no no no. How did that happen? No way. You are in total disbelief. You can't believe on it. Then is you're kidding. No, 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 you're kidding. You must have heard these in some Gen Z slangs. You're kidding me. You are doing this, that, this. Kidding doesn't mean a kid or anything. This means that I can't believe what you just said. You're kidding me. No, no, I can't believe you married his best friend. No, 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 I can't believe. This is known as I can't believe. You are kidding me, right? Or no way. Then is oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. In sudden surprise, a polite surprise. Oh my goodness, right? It is not OMG, it is, oh yeah, it's OMG only. Sorry, oh my goodness, yeah. Polite surprise. Perfectly safe in all settings. Yeah, this is a formal thing when you say, like, the first person will say, she married her best friend. So you can say, oh my god, oh my goodness, that's a polite surprise you're gonna give. Or if you wanna say, no way, or if you wanna say, you're kidding me, it will sound quite informal. So instead, you can say, oh my goodness, no way. Then is shut up. That's a slang. Shut up is a slang and usually sounds rude. Shut up. Not rude here means no way really. Yeah. Shut up is not usually rude in some sentences when you say shut up. No, you're kidding me. Shut up. This cannot be true. So not rude here means no way. Really? That happened. Shut up. No. You're joking. So these are phrases when you can use for expressing surprise. No way. You're kidding me. Oh my goodness. Shut up, you can't be real. Then we have buying time while thinking. Buying time, what does it mean? Time को खरीदना? नहीं, time को खरीदना नहीं होता. Buying time means like when you are in a conversation or maybe you are giving a lecture, so you will say, oh, let me think. Somebody asks you a question, so you will be like, let me think. You're buying time. This is known as buying time in a conversation, so that a person waits until you answer the question, or he will be like, fast, answer me fast. Let me think. What was the answer? Let me think. So you're buying time in this conversation. Pause to consider. Give me a moment. Yeah, you have to pause for the conversation. Let me think. What was that? I don't remember it. Then is that's a good question. You can usually use these in interviews, right? If an interview person is saying you can use these for buying time while thinking in a conversation. That's a good question. Yeah, that was a good question you asked me. Buys thinking time while complimenting the question. Yeah, that's the main thing. A person asks you a question and you are like, yeah, that's a good question. And you keep thinking and you buy the time. That's really clever tech. So you should usually use these phrases. How do I put this? Searching for the right word to explain something. How do I put this? I was like, so this is also used for buying time, but in a informal way. So you cannot use this in interviews or some kind of conversations. Then is off the top of my head. Off the top of my head. Giving a rough answer without thinking too deeply. You didn't think too deeply. You will just say off the top of my head. I don't even understand it. It's just off the top of my head. Buying time while thinking. These are the phrases you can use. Let me think. That's a good question. For a formal way, how do I put this? And off the top of my head. मेरे सर के ऊपर से गया. Off the top of my head. For buying time in a conversation. Okay. Next is ending conversation. We learned greetings and now we're learning ending. Ending a conversation. How? I will let you go. Politely ending a call or conversation. Yeah, this is a polite way of ending a call or conversation. If you want to suddenly say, Okay, bye, 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 bye. You will cut the call. It will sound formal. Yeah, no, 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 no. Then the person will block you immediately, right? It will block you immediately. So you will say, I will let you go now. I will let you go now. You're talking? This is phone. Yeah, okay. You're talking? Yeah, I will let you go now. This will sound more politely and polite actually in the end of a conversation. So you can use this. I'll let you go now. Or catch you later. A casual goodbye. This is usually used in physical sense. Like a person is in front of you, you can say, catch you later, bye bye. Or you also use this while talking to somebody. Talking. This is also a phone and this is also a phone. This is phone for Gen Z and Gen Alpha people and this is phone for millennials. Yeah. Use this like this. But I'm not a millennial. Catch you later means a casual goodbye. See you soon. Catch you later. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Catch you later. Bye bye. No, I'm not in the video. Okay. Next first, it was great catching up. What does this mean? It was great catching up, bro. Thank you. It was great catching up with you. It was great catching up with you. After chatting with someone you haven't seen in a while. Aha. Aha. So you'll say, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, what's up? Long time no see. And when you're ending the conversation, what will you say? It was great catching up with you. I love you talking. You're such a pretty fun person. Love the way you talk. This is known as it was great catching up. A really good phrase to end your conversation with a more polite sense and with a more cool sense. Then is take care. Bye bye. This is usually used for somebody you want to say, like somebody is in a hospital or somebody who is, in not a good state. So you will say, okay, take care. A warm, friendly way to say goodbye. A warm and a friendly way. So say, take care, bye bye. Or you can use, it was great catching up. Take care. You can mix up the conversations, right? Then is greetings. Then we use agreeing and reacting. Then we said, what did we learn third? Comment me down below. And then fourth, ending conversations. That was okay. Next, what is next? Oh, we have more. I'm excited. Are you excited to learn too? Then stay till the end of video and subscribe to our channel, because we are going to recommend more videos, more and more and more and more videos like this. So you have to subscribe. Okay. Okay, let's start next. Sharing opinions and feelings. Sharing opinions and feelings. Now you've ended a conversation. You're out of the conversation. Now we're in another conversation. You have greeted the person. You have did your overacting. Acting. Then it is sharing opinions and feelings. If you ask me, what does this mean? Introducing your personal opinion softly. Like a person said, oh my god, she married her best friend. What do you think about it? Then you will say, if you ask me, then you can say what? If you ask me, she did a great choice. It's her choice. It's her choice. She wants to marry her best friend. She wants to marry her dog. It's her choice. Okay. If you ask me, introducing a personal opinion softly. If you ask, then is honestly speaking. This is usually used when you want to give your review something, being direct and genuine about your view. Yeah, about your review, being direct and genuine. Honestly speaking, I think she shouldn't have done that. I mean, she didn't like him. It was just her best friend. So yeah, you can use as honestly speaking. I think it's my opinion. Then is I'm on the fence. Oh my god, this is a new thing. What is this? Means undecided. You see both sides equally. Yeah. I'm on the fence means I see both the sides equally. I can't even agree that she was totally right, but I can't even agree that she's totally wrong. It's her choice. It's her choice. And this side, I'm saying that maybe she shouldn't have done that. Maybe she shouldn't have done that. So I'm on the fence. Not really on the fence. This is just a phrase. I'm on the fence. I don't know. I don't totally disagree or agree. Then that's not really my thing. Politely saying you don't enjoy something. Yeah, you can say not enjoy something, or you can say, yeah, this is usually used for not enjoy something. Like he said, oh yay, come on, let's go to do a party. Then you will say, that's not really my thing. I don't like partying. Sorry. That's not really my thing. I don't like it. That's my choice. So this is known as that's not really my thing. Sharing your opinions and feelings. If you don't want it, you don't want it. So in a polite way, how a native speaker says it, that's not really my thing. Sorry. Let's recap. If you ask me, my I'm giving my opinion softly, honestly speaking, giving my review in an opinion in a genuine way. I'm on the fence. I don't disagree or agree completely. I don't know. I don't even care. No, that's not really my thing. No. I don't like enjoying that and everything. Sorry, that's not really my thing. These are some sharing opinions and feelings for you to use in your daily conversation, and you have to use. If you don't use, I'm going to come to your home and tell to your mama. How can I say anything else? Okay, next is coffee shop and everyday life. Now, many of you must have gone to Starbucks. What do first in the place? First, you will say, "Can I get a?" You go to Starbucks. First, you go to the reception and you say, "Can I get a whatever you want? Can I get a frappuccino? Can I get espresso?" Ordering food or drinks more natural than I want. If you go and say "I want," it will sound more rude and informal. But if you say "Can I get you?" suddenly when you go at for person, then it will sound more formal. Then is, "Could you do me a favor?" Excuse me, could you do me a favor? I can't find the way. This is known as a politely asking for help. You are in a foreign country and you don't know anything about the place. So you can say, "Excuse me, can you do me a favor? Where's this place or where's that place? Where does this place go?" So this politely asking for help from someone. "My treat, I'll pay for it." It is a generous offer. Like you say, "It's my treat today. I will pay for whatever you buy. Whatever you will eat, whatever you will buy, it's my treat. I will give the money." Then is, "It slipped my mind." What does it mean? I forgot. It left my memory unexpectedly. Like you can say, "I kept the key there, but it slipped my mind. I don't remember where I kept it. I don't remember it. It slipped my mind." It didn't slip my mind out. It slipped my mind is a phrase. Okay. So first, when you go to a coffee shop, you can ask, "Can I get a?" for ordering a food drinks. Then if you, I'm just giving example. If you go to a foreign country, you can say, "Could you do me a favor?" Or if you want to ask for a favor from someone, you can say, "Could you do me a favor, please? Could you like this video? Could you do me a favor?" Then is, "My treat. I'll pay for it." Then it slipped my mind. I forgot it. What was it? This is known as these coffee shop and everyday life phrases native speaker use that you should also use as a beginner. Then is, okay, we are finally done. What was the first part? Greetings, then agreeing, then surprise, thinking, goodbyes, opinions, and daily life. That was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned many things from it and you use it in your daily life conversation. Share this as much as possible. If you have any queries, you can comment down below. Like this video, subscribe our channel for more notifications and videos like this. Meet you in the next video with much more fun. Till that, namaskar, thank you.